Puranamritam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupagadam Tadati Saparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yotavadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivadari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Golam Nasteva Gatiranyata. Reading from Nectar of Devotion, Eastern section, second wave, Sadhana Bhakti. So the limbs of devotional service have been explained. "64 limbs of devotional service are there. And then after that, so Rupa Goswami is explaining the different limbs and a little more detailed. Text number 97. Tatra Guru Padashraya Yatha Ekadashe. Taking shelter over the lotus feet of Sri Guru from the 11th canto. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shayottamam Shabde Parecha Nishnantam Brahmani Upasham Ashrayam. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a spiritual master who is conversant with the Bhakti principles, Bhakti scriptures, accomplished in hearing and chanting about the Lord, and fully tranquil. So, through the Vedic scriptures it is explained that we have to take shelter with the spiritual master, the representative of the Lord. Krishna is also telling Arjuna that one should take shelter with the spiritual master. Shlok? Which shlok? Tadvini paripatane pariprasna sevaya upadekshati te yanam yaninas tatvarashanaha. I should, telling him, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. And how one should approach the spiritual master? Paripatene pariprasna seva. So in a very humble mood, not challenging. And then one should ask questions. And sevaya, one should serve the spiritual master or serve the instructions of the spiritual master. And then the spiritual master can impart knowledge unto the disciples, seeing that is sincere. So here, in the 11th canto, famous verse is there, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta, Prapana, Prapadye. Surrender to the spiritual master. Jigyasu. So the spiritual master, the qualifications are mentioned. Jigyasu. So one should be inquisitive. So the disciple must be inquisitive. Shreyottamam, to inquire about spiritual life, about the goal of life, what is most beneficial. Uttamam, Shreya, what is auspicious. And long term, Shreyas and Preyas. So most people, they want some immediate benefit. If they're doing something, they want quick results. So, but in spiritual life, one must be a little bit more patient and understand that if one is taking up spiritual life, of course, immediate benefit is there also by taking shelter of Krishna or the spiritual master. But ultimate success, that will take some time to become perfect. So, in the material world, so people are working to get some immediate benefit. And of course, even there, when you're working, usually, so even nowadays, and mostly you get the salary after 1 month. You have to work for 1 month and then you get the salary. Of course, Brahmanas, they are not working for salary. So they are serving for the pleasure of the Lord, and then they may be remunerated. They do some ceremony, a yagya, and then they will get the dakshina, remuneration for their service. So the qualifications of the spiritual master are there mentioned. Some of them, Shabade Pare Cha Nishnantam, Brahmani Upasamma Shrayam. So the spiritual master, Nishnantam, so is actually expert in the scriptures. Shastravit, he knows the scriptures. Of course, Vedic knowledge is very vast. Veda, so transcendental knowledge is no different from the Lord. And the Lord is unlimited, so transcendental knowledge is also unlimited. So therefore Vyasadeva also divided the one Veda in 4, and then he also gave the essence, Vedanta Sutra. And even Vedanta Sutra is divided in 4. dealing with Sambandha Gyan, Abhideya Gyan and Prayojan Gyan. So the spell master is conversant with the essence of the Vedic literatures. So he knows what is most important. And as followers of Mahaprabhu, so the followers of Mahaprabhu, they know the scriptures of the acharyas who are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this sense, Shastravid, they know the Shastras. Like the books of the Goswamis, Bhakti Rasamrita, Sindhu, Pradesamrita, and then even Jiv Goswami's books, Satsandarbhas and so on. Of course, then the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Amalu Purana, for most of the Puranas, the cream of the Vedic literatures. Shastravid, Vedantavid, but at least they will have some knowledge of Vedanta. All the great scholars, they're conversant with Vedanta Sutra, or at least the essence of the Vedanta Sutra. So Vedanta, Shastravid, Vedantavid. So the commentaries are there also of Vedanta Sutra. Most famous is Shariraka Bhasya by Shankaracharya, which we are not studying because there's impersonal explanation there. But then all the acharyas of the four sampradayas, they have written commentary on Vedanta Sutra, like Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Nimbarka, Vishnaswami. So, but the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, at some point they didn't have any commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So therefore not everyone were accepting the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. After Mahaprabhu, so the 6 Goswamis were there, and they wrote so many transcendental literatures. The essence of Mahaprabhu's teachings, the essence of the Vedic literatures. And we know sometimes there's some dispute there, and different persons, they have some different understanding, or different saintly persons, and then sometimes there's debate. Like even nowadays, right? Yes. On internet. ISKCON Bangalore, ISKCON Mumbai, so, or whatever, or even different followers of different personalities. So even in Braj, or what to speak of, different places in Bharatvarsha. So usually based on the Vedic literatures. Shastra, it should be based on the Shastra, the knowledge. And of course, Guru Sadhu Shastra, based on Guru Sadhu and Shastra. Not simply Guru. But then even so, in this regard of ISKCON and ISKCON Bangalore or ISKCON, so as we know, and So then they're taking Prabhupada's words, and then based on that they have their debate. So which is alright, but Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, Prabhupada has explained many times also, the Acharyas have explained. We should speak according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. What the Guru has said should be from what the previous Acharyas have explained. What is mentioned in the scriptures, Shastra, that has to be there. And then it is known as authoritative. So, and once upon a time, a few hundred years ago, in Jaipur there was some kind of also again controversy there, and some of the followers of Ramanuja from the Ramananda Sampradaya, even there the different sects are there, or different understandings, which is quite natural, like different Gaudiya Vaishnavas are there, different followers of Ramanujacharya, Nimbarkacharya also, Vishnu Swami. So they were criticizing the Bengali devotees who were worshipping Radha Govinda in Jaipur, and telling them you are not bona fide. And the Bengali devotees, little skinny and small and not very strong, and they were not so knowledgeable. And they told them, you cannot worship Radha Govinda. You are not qualified. Who is the Acharya in your line? Where is your Bhashya and commentary on Vedanta Sutra? And the Bengali devotees, they were crying. What to do? And he came to Braj. And they met Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Chakravarti, so he was like the emperor of scholars, very learned, staunch followers of Rupa and Raghunath. So they asked him, you please come and, you try to help us so that we can serve Radha Govinda again. And they were saying, and they are chastising us and telling, you don't have knowledge, and where is your Bhashya, your commentary on Vedanta Sutra? And we don't have, right? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, yes, actually we don't have a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. But we follow our Acharyas and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is sufficient. And he was, of course, capable of defeating anyone. He was empowered. Like the Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis. And so, he said, but I'm an old man now. He was 80 years old. And I made a vow not to leave Braj. So I'm old, so I cannot go there. But we have one devotee here. His name is Baladev Vidyabhushan. He's a very powerful also devotee and very learned, Vidwan, very knowledgeable. So I will speak to him and I will ask him to go there. And so they were relieved. And so he spoke to him and he was ready. And today is actually the disappearance of Baladev Vidyabhushan. So he was ready and he went there, and so they challenged him. But you don't have the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. You must have. He So he was knowledgeable, and he spoke to them based on the scriptures, according what he had heard from Rupan or from Vishwanath about Rupan Sanatan. So Rup Sanatan and Jiva Goswami, they were, especially Rupan, of course, Jiva Goswami, great scholars, genius. So Rup Goswami wrote many books, Upadeshamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita, Sindhu, Ujjwal Nilamani, Stava Mala. Stava means collection of prayers, Mala, a garland of collection of prayers. And beautiful verses are there, so the essence of Mahaprabhu's teachings. So then in Stavamala also there are some verses there. Chitra Kavitvani. You ever heard Chitra Kavitvani? No? You haven't heard? I feel life is wasted. Very Chitra Kavitvani. Kavitvani means Kavita, means poetic words, Kavitvani. Chitra, very amazing. Like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also wrote some nice verses, commentaries on Bhakti Rasamrita, Sindhu and so on. Chamatkar Chandrika. You have heard Chamatkar Chandrika? Very nice. 4 little pastimes are there in regards to Krishna. Krishna in the box. And so on. Krishna disguised as Abhimanyu and so on. Wonderful pastimes. You must have heard, right, all these pastimes? So Rupa Goswami wrote these verses, very wonderful. And so we also read these verses, most of the verses. But sometimes we read and then we see one shloka, and okay, we can understand the meaning to some extent, right? Like this verse, Taspat Gurum Papadyeta Shreya Digyasu Shreya Uttamam Sabde Paricha Nishnantam Brahmani Upasham Ashrayam. So we know the meaning to some extent, but then to know the deep meaning is maybe not so easy. So he wrote some verses and we can read them and wow, nice verses. But then, so the deep meanings and the genius of Rupa Goswami cannot be very quickly or easily understood unless one is a great scholar. So 12, 13 verses are there. I had read them before also, but then we came upon one book by Baladev Vijayabhushan, and he's explaining about these verses. Deep meaning of these verses. Very wonderful. So he was a great scholar, also almost a genius. Like some of these verses are there, just using one consonant or one vowel. Like one verse with only with na or ni or o, no, just with na. And one is only with cha. And so very amazing. One verse you can read from the beginning to the end, and then you read from the end to the beginning. So same composition of the vowel and consonant. And one verse is there you can read. If you have the verse like this, you can read like this and like this, like this and like this, or up and down, up and down. It's amazing. Chitra Kavitvani. So, very expert. So then he went there and speaking to the scholars, and But he was saying, that's okay, yes, you're a great scholar and we acknowledge that, but you don't have the Bhashya on Vedanta Sutra. So we cannot really accept you as bona fide Sampradaya. And he has also given an argument and taking shelter of Madhvacharya, we're known as the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. But that's okay, but then we understand there's some slight difference between the Madhvas, Acharya, and then your side, your line, in the teachings. So you have to have the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So I said, Paradividhu said, yes, fine, we will produce that. And he was praying. Who is there in Jaipur? Govinda Devji and Gopinath, Damodar, Radha Madhav, yeah, nearby, Radha Vinod. Radha Madhav Mohan is a little before in Karoli. Anyway, but the main is Radha Govinda, the Ishtadev of Rupa Goswami, and the Murti for Avidya Gyan, for the process of devotional service. So he was praying to Govinda Dev, please you help me out. You have to do something. So he was staying there in one place because, Jaipur. You have been to Jaipur? Who has been to Jaipur? Not been to Jaipur? Yeah, yeah, been? You not been? Okay. So the fort is there because the king was there. The kings are there, Rajput and powerful, and so city means it's a little crowded, right? So sadhus they don't like to be so much in crowded place. Of course, sometimes even they go for preaching. So we're staying a little away from Jaipur, one place known Galtaji. Who has been in Galtaji?
Yes.
You have been also? Hey, you've been everywhere, huh? Okay. Okay. You have been in Jaipur?
Yes.
So you've been in Puri?
Yes.
You have been in Puri?
Yes.
You have been in Mayapur?
जा रहे हैं
Jara, going, okay. On the 8th? 8 June?
Yes.
Okay, first time, huh? Okay, good. Yeah, so, I was there also in Galtaji. There's a little pond is there also, considered to be Galta. So, what is there? Galtaji, क्या है? What is there? क्या है देवी जी?
और वहाँ पे कोई pond भी है
हाँ pond है हाँ there's one pond there पानी is coming there. What is it? It is Ganges River. It is a Ganges River there.
और गुरुदेव वहाँ पे एक जो प्रथा है वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आई कि लोग आते हैं जो नहाएंगे वो कपड़े वहीं छोड़ देंगे कहते हैं वो लेके दोबारा पहन के नहीं जाने चाहिए
अच्छा yeah many people say many things. Therefore we should go with the Guru, the spiritual master, representative of the Lord who knows what is what and who is who, and so you don't do things which are not necessary. You can go there and take a bath and you can take your clothes and you go Haribol. But you have to chant Hare Krishna always, okay? But you don't have to leave your clothes there, okay? So he was there also, and actually he was there and doing his bhajan, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then Govinda Dev is speaking to him, night time. So he was lying down for a little while, and then Govinda Dev speaking to him. Samadhi Bhashan. So it's not just so ordinary dream, but special. And Govinda is speaking to him. And then, of course, when the sadhu is sleeping, he's not deep sleep, but he's conscious of the Lord also. And then so Govinda Dev spoke to him. commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. And then of course, when he woke up, so very intelligent person, and then he actually wrote it down, what Govindadev spoke. And that became known as Govinda Bhashya. So, commentary on Vedanta Sutra spoken by Govindadev, which is the best commentary, better than anybody else's. And then he spoke to these sadhus from the Ramanuja Sampradaya, and they were very impressed and said, Pranam, wonderful. And so we accept the commentary, and so therefore is known as Vedantacharya, Baladev Vidibhushan. So he has understood the Vedanta, and so the essence of the commentary was revealed to him by Govindadev himself. Vedantacharya Baladev Vidibhushan ki. So today's his disappearance day, and so we offer pranam to him, and we pray that we may be blessed, so that we may advance in our spiritual life, and so we may be able to take shelter of the acharyas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. So, and then after that, of course, then the Bengali devotees, they were again allowed to worship Radha Govindadev. Sri Radha Govindadev ki, Chilarup Goswami ki, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki. So the spiritual master is Shastravit, Vedantavit, and Siddhantavit. So Siddhanta, he knows the Siddhanta of the Sampradaya. What is the essence of the Sampradaya's teachings? You have your hands up?
Yes,
or
yes,
yeah?
Question,
Yeah, okay.
So, yes, with this only, that Shabde Parayata Mishnagam,
Yes.
they should be expert in
Right.
scriptures, Vedantavit, Shastravit, Siddhantavit.
And what else?
Now, the like question is like, and then Brahmani, Pashamashram. So, question is that how much expert? Because now, like this
Right.
thing going on.
Yeah, thing going on.
Yeah, what they argue is that these are the qualifications of a Nuttam Adhikari, and only a Nuttam Adhikari, Brahmani is like, and Upashramashram. So, and who is there now? So, after Prabhupada, no Guru. Like, this is the argument which they give. So,
Right, the
how much
Ritviks.
yeah, the Ritviks. And then this argument then circulates, and then it comes as a question to us and
To you also, huh?
Yes,
Okay, so you have to answer.
no, we don't answer. I don't, we just ignore it completely. But if I answer, I mean, we have an answer. But how, like, if it comes from you, then
Yeah. I mean, you can give some answers, but you should not be too much involved in
yes.
in a kind of debate, the argument, and not taking sides.
Personally,
You see,
privately,
because you see, because even like now, there's one point also which many devotees are saying also, because they invited me in one group of scholars because I have some knowledge also, but of course even because I have so much to do, and so I'm not taking so much part, because many times there's even different arguments are there, which is okay, but the other point is based on scriptures. And they're also saying that actually even, let's say, from the side, because both sides are there in the arguments, that, so they're saying Prabhupada, but then they're not quoting from the scriptures. Like Ritvik also. But where is this there in the scriptures? It is nowhere. No. A Ritvik system. Ritvik can be there, Ritvik, representative of the spiritual master. Or even there's a Ritvik priest, If the main priest is not there, then the Ritvik may do some ceremony. It is there, but he cannot be acting as a guru. Or, like they have, that Prabhupada is the guru now all the time. So that is not there in the scriptures. It is parampara is there in the scriptures. And the living guru must be there. So then they're saying also this is not actually according to Shastra. But the Ritviks, they just said, but Prabhupada said, and what Prabhupada said is more important than Shastra. And even what they say then, this group of scholars, but even in ISKCON, many times they may make this mistake that they're only quoting Prabhupada and they're disregarding Shastra. So, but we have to speak according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. But the previous acharyas have told that we have to say. And then Shastra, what is mentioned in the Shastra, that is there. So which is okay, and which should be there. At the same time, of course, to have faith in Guru is also very important. And because there are so many injunctions in the Shastra, so therefore, and also the spiritual master, he has to be knowledgeable in the Shastras, but the main qualification is that he's actually surrendered to Krishna and he's realized. Krishnaika Sharanam, so he's Shastravid, Vedantavid, Siddhantavid, and even Rasa Tattvavid. He knows the Rasa Shastra in regards to our Sampradaya. So the books of Rupa Goswami, Bhakti Rasamrita, Sindhu, Ujjwal Nilamani. So by which may come to the highest stage of pure devotional service. So it should be like even it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, like Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Veti Tattvataha. Veti Tattvataha. So he should realize, he should have understood this transcendental subject matter in truth. And then Mahaprabhu also said, so it is mentioned a few times, Veti Tattvataha in the Bhagavad Gita. So one who knows thoroughly. So that means then also to have direct realization of Krishna. Kipa vipa kibana sishuru kaina ye Krishna tattva vette sei guru hai. So Krishna tattva veta, one is knowledgeable of Krishna tattva, one who has realized Krishna. So mostly to the fullest extent. Krishna Sarup, who has realized Krishna Sarup. Even though, so Kipa Vipa Kiva Nasya, that is Mahaprabhu has told. So even he may, Shudra Kenenai, even he may be Shudra, and Shudra, we know, they are not so much learned. He may not be so much learned. But if he has taken shelter with the spiritual master, and then he has then realized the subject matter, realized Krishna, then he may be the guru, he may be accepted as guru. So he must have realization of the Lord also. So he must be knowledgeable and he must have realized knowledge. Gyan and Vigyan. Not only Gyan, but Vigyan has to be there also. And so that is then the spiritual master. And so even though he may not be so much learned, but if he is realized, then he may be accepted as spiritual master, or as a spiritual master. That we have to see also. But still, he should be able to refute the Mayavadis if he's challenged, or others who have some misconception, and he should be able to dispel the doubts of the disciple or of people who are questioning something. So that should be there. So he must have sufficient knowledge of especially the literatures in our Sampradaya, and so he should be realized, and so in this way, in a way, if he's realized, then so Krishna will guide him also to dispel the doubts of the disciples, of any inquisitive person. And so that is the main point actually. So he may, like for example, Prabhupada, so he had also vast knowledge, but for example, he knew some Sanskrit, but not that he knew Sanskrit to the highest level, that he was a Sanskrit scholar. Even some of his disciples were there helping him also with the Sanskrit, like Pradumna. But then, yeah, English also, of course, for editing. So to be completely perfect, of course, that is Krishna himself or Mahaprabhu. But because he was fully surrendered to his Guru and to Gauranga Krishna, so therefore Prabhupada was empowered. And even sometimes some people are, even saying that sometimes the translation of Prabhupada's verses, they are not completely correct according to the Sanskrit. But basically he was giving the meaning, the proper meaning. And that is most important. And it should be according to Guru Sadhvan Shastra. So Prabhupada is writing when he was writing his purpose, he was actually writing according to the commentaries of the previous acharyas. And he used to have the book of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur for the Bhagavatam and Jiva Goswami's Sandarbhas and Sadananda Goswami's explanation Tika, or Sridhar Swami, the original commentator, Baladev Vidbhushan. And then he was writing his commentary and seeing according to time, place and circumstances. So he was writing according to Shastra, his commentary, but then giving his own realization according to time, place and circumstances. So, and even nowadays, so for example, Shrutidhar is rare. Was incredible memory. Like previously, there was no need of the scriptures because they used to hear and remember. But now it is not possible. So even the acharya, sometimes he has to take reference from the book, or he must have the book with him. Like Govinda Maharaj, also a wonderful devotee, disciple of Prabhupada, used to give lecture, and then he had 4 or 5 books with him. And then he was giving class, and then he was referring from Shastra. Not just speaking what he has understood and realized, but speaking from Shastra, quoting from Shastra. Here it is mentioned in this book, here and here, like this, so as much as possible.
So now, like let's say, because also the time is progressing and the Kali Yuga is progressing, so the level of the spiritual masters will also decrease because
yes, definitely, that is there. It will be, the spiritual master, but the spiritual master, the main thing is his love and devotion.
But the Guru Parampara system will continue even if the level of spiritual master comes to a point where, according to the verse, the Small Guru Parampara,
right.
He is not eligible to become a spiritual master.
No, not like this. He will be eligible, but maybe his knowledge may not be as vast as previously. He may not be a genius like Rupa Goswami or Jiva Goswami or Vishwanath or Baladev Vidbhushan. So there may not be as much, a genius in regards to knowledge of Sanskrit and knowledge of all these literatures, but he will have sufficient knowledge, but maybe not as much.
But then how will he be called a spiritual master by the world if he will not complete the prerequisite of the verse is in Bhagavatam, I mean the like this verse or any other verse which states the qualifications of a Guru. So like
no, still the qualification will be there. Right.
If he is not able to fulfill the,
well, that he will have. Vachavega, Manasya, Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, yeah, of course, even later on. They may be not so scholarly, therefore Mahaprabhu said, Kivinyasi Shudra Kainai. Maybe even Shudra means not so learned, but because he has love and devotion, therefore he will have realization and therefore he can help the disciples. That is the main qualification. So therefore Mahaprabhu himself, he already, because he's Bhagavan, right? 3 color Trikala Gya.
Yes,
He knows past, present, and future. Already told for the future. They may not be so qualified in terms of the qualification according to previously, but because of his love and devotion, and still knowing the essence, he will be Sada Grahi Vaishnav. He will know the essence, and therefore he can be qualified.
Yes, Gurudev, you brought this verse and you changed the whole game. Like,
Game changer, huh?
Because no one has actually brought forward this verse as an argument to them,
Right.
because I've been following videos
Yeah,
and they are
yeah.
questioning, bringing this word, they are also bringing the...
I know, that's why I'm saying also sometimes even that the scholarly people or devotees sometimes even, like one of the scholars was saying that if one doesn't know Sanskrit, then he's a Kanishtadikari.
No.
But it is not like this.
No.
No. So then one other devotee was saying, well, but Prabhupada never said, and and we can see. It's not that you must know Sanskrit. So we can see that sometimes those who are knowledgeable, then they also become a little proud. Oh, you don't know Sanskrit. Yeah. You must know Sanskrit, then you can be a scholar. You must know a little Sanskrit, but you don't have to necessarily be a scholar. Yeah. So therefore, so those who are actually completely in line and free from false ego and who are learned, and at the same time devotional also, and who know the essence, they are rare. So that you have to see.
And you always mention in the class, Gurudev, like the most important thing is bhav.
The most important is bhav. Yes.
And what you do is not much important, how you do is
Yes. Right.
So this is the essence.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yes.
So I have one more doubt
Uh-huh.
to clear. So,
Okay.
Gurudev, this is also one about Diksha Guru. This is circulating that what is Diksha? That Diksha is Divyagyan, and when
Right.
Divyagyan enters the Kuryat Papasya Sanchayam, that the पाप करने की जो बीज होता है वो नष्ट हो
Right.
जाता है automatically as soon as the Divyagyan
Right.
enters in our heart.
Hmm.
So, by this standard, Srila Prabhupada also gave Diksha to 10,000 devotees, but now only 100, 150 remain.
Yeah, of the
So, was
10,000.
Srila Prabhupada, I mean, this is an argument to Ritvik. So,
Right.
if you can, so by that standard, was Srila Prabhupada not giving Diksha? Srila Prabhupada was giving Diksha.
Oh, so then even the Ritviks are saying.
But they are saying that who can give Diksha now? Because this is the argument. No one can, in ISKCON, no one can give Diksha. No one can give Shabda Brahma. Because still the paap karne ki jo vasna hai, it is still in the Shishya.
Well, but even in Prabhupada's disciple, it was there. That is the point you're making.
So,
Right? That is the point you're making.
Yes, that
Right.
is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
So it's the right point, na?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
there are so many devotees filled out.
Right.
उत्तम बनना पड़ता है ना।
No, of
Because
course.
even the disciple, it depends on disciples' Sharanagati, sincerity.
Yeah.
है ना?
Yes, definitely. And even the spiritual master is there, and is helping the disciple, but then the disciple has to be very sincere, and he has to try to surrender, because anyhow in the beginning you cannot fully surrender.
Yes.
You try to surrender. If you're on the modes of material nature, you cannot really surrender, but you're trying. And then the spiritual master, like sometimes they say also, he's giving the relationship. But actually the relationship with Krishna is already there. But he's helping the disciple to understand his relationship with Krishna. Like that. And then by surrendering to Guru, then you're recognized by Krishna. Because Krishna is saying, oh, he's surrendering to my representative, so I will help him. In this way, he is recognized by Krishna, the disciple. When he's surrendering to Guru, he is a bona fide Guru. And then the spiritual master is helping, and slowly but surely he's becoming purified in existence. Not immediately, it's not possible. Initiation, that is the beginning. That is the beginning. One is receiving knowledge, and then it is like you have the fan. The fan is running, but if you turn off the fan, then it will not immediately stop. So similarly, then something will remain. So but if you take initiation, that the propensity for sinful activities will be stopped. Because he understood I have to follow the 4 regulatory principles, and the spell master is giving some guidelines what to do and what not to do. So and then in this way, so then he will usually not again engage in sinful activities. But because Maya is so strong, sometimes still he's deviating. And then he's falling even from the path. So it takes time to become perfect. So therefore we can see who Sadhguru is rare, but then of those disciples who is becoming such Shishya, that is rare also, who is becoming pure and qualified disciple. So that is there. So yes, so many arguments are there, but basically, so Prabhupada, so he was empowered and he gave the mercy to many fortunate souls, and those who adopted the process properly, then they were advancing nicely, and that some of them, they became qualified to then also make disciples. And some more than others. Some of Prabhupada's disciples are more qualified than others, and that may be seen by the result also, but still. So then, because different kinds of spiritual masters are there also, the eternal associates, and then those who have become, those disciples who have become perfect, and then there are some who are almost perfect but not completely. They may also initiate. So those Madhyamādhikari who are qualified, they may initiate also, but they may not be completely realized. But they may also initiate. But then those who are, completely realized, they are rare. But others may initiate also, because they can help also others to advance. So anyhow, so many arguments may be there from many sides, but we should try to understand what is the essence, and then one may be able to advance in spiritual life.
So,
yes.
So, just last question. So, even if Srila Prabhupada himself comes and states, like it's proper video, there's confusion going on now, but there's a proper video that now here on Guru Parampara system stops and Ritvik system starts. We cannot accept that.
No.
Because it is not reconciling with the words of
right.
with the other sadhus.
Yeah, but Prabhupada never said,
yes,
and never wrote.
Prabhupada never said.
No, he
but
wouldn't. Yeah.
Even if this.
But you can say not even if.
Okay.
Because he never did.
Yes.
Because how he can do? Because it is not there in the scripture. He will never do. Guru Sadhu Shastra. Prabhupada is doing according to the previous Acharya and Shastra.
Yes, absolutely.
Guru Parampara, Evam Parampara Praptami Maharaja Saviduhu. Krishna is saying to Arjuna. So Prabhupada is repeating what Krishna is saying, what the Acharyas are saying. So you cannot say even if Prabhupada. No, not possible. No. That argument you cannot give. Not possible.
No, I'm just saying
yeah.
Like we have to give precedence more to the
Shastra. Yes.
And the warning of Guru has to reconcile with the Shastra.
Right.
So in this way,
but you must have
making an offense towards Srila Prabhupada, implying that Srila Prabhupada is not following the Shastra. Like by this, that is what they are doing.
They are doing a lot of things.
Yeah, but it's, at least they're chanting Hare Krishna.
Yes.
And they have some respect for Prabhupada, but they don't have the proper understanding.
Yes.
And they're like children. They don't really know what they're doing.
What they're speaking is also, but it doesn't make any sense.
No. Like a child, is doing the father is chanting Gayatri, then the child is also chanting Gayatri. Without Brahman thread, only doing like this because father is doing. You have seen?
Yes.
Even my daughter was doing.
I've seen no place.
Yeah.
But he has.
5-6 years ago.
Yeah. Now he has.
Now he has. 5-6 years ago I was
Yeah. Yeah. So like this, and then they don't know how to do artik, but they saw the father and they're doing something. That's what they're doing. But they don't have complete understanding what Prabhupada said, what is mentioned in the scriptures. So, but so it is a kind of childlike, but so. But they're trying to do something, and I mean, they did something also. And they're doing some food distribution, prasadam distribution, but so. And some are saying it is almost like upper sampradaya, which may be agreed to. We may agree.
To some extent.
Yeah, because it is not really proper. This ritual system, it is not proper actually. So it is like upper sampradaya that we have to say. But we give them,
Name, fame and glory, just to have the name, fame and glory.
whatever reason, maybe name, fame, glory, or just because they're not fortunate to have completely understood. They're a little less fortunate.
Yes.
But they're fortunate that they have some faith in Prabhupada and in Mahaprabhu and Krishna, and they're doing something little. But it's not perfect.
They are right only in one basis. There have been some gurus who are not qualified to be
Right.
guru.
Yes.
They had a fall down.
Yes.
And hence might as well have your shraddha towards Srila Prabhupada.
Right. Yes.
But then again, as you said, they forget the part the living guru has to be
Right.
in a form of a Siksha guru. Or
Right.
But they are
Right.
right.
Yeah,
only
well,
on this
on this particular point at ISKCON, there are many gurus who have fallen down, and therefore they're saying that nobody is qualified, which is not right either.
It's not right.
Which is not right. So there's exaggeration, and because they don't have the complete understanding. Because even sometimes the guru, like for example, some of Prabhupada disciples, they had some spiritual understanding, but due to some impurities, due to maybe some offense towards some other Vaishnavas, that they fell down from this position. But they had some qualification, and they may have been maybe Madhyamadikari, and definitely because they were preaching and having some understanding, but then some deviation was there, and then they fell down. And even now, maybe not everyone is qualified, that we may also agree, of all those who are now giving initiation. So we respect all of them, but some are more qualified than others, that we may see.
Somehow that particular letter
Uh-huh.
from Srila Prabhupada, or a letter or a conversation where he clearly states that Srila Radha Govind Maharaj and Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj.
Or there's a letter where?
A letter or an instruction or a conversation. Somewhere it is. I don't know, way long back around 2011 I read it somewhere after Maharaj's day. That they both were assigned by Srila Prabhupada to be the one to give instructions. So much so that when Srila Prabhupada was in Bhubaneswar for 17 days with Srila Govind Maharaj, this I heard first hand from Parvat Maharaj, and also one of the closest servant of Srila Govind Maharaj, that Prabhupada tried to convince him a lot to Govind Maharaj to be the Acharya post Prabhupada's departure, because he knew that he was supposed to leave. This was in February. Where Srila Govind Maharaj humbly said that he wants to be the tail, not the head. He said that as it is while you are here, so much has happened with me. I don't know what will happen post you go.
They may be there, yeah. And definitely we heard that Prabhupada told him that he should initiate. And even, actually that we have heard also that one time Radha Govinda Maharaj came here with some disciples,
Yes, yes.
with some devotees, and said, Prabhupada, please initiate them. But then Prabhupada said, no, you should initiate.
Yes.
And they should be your disciples.
So this is actually should be, for the ones who thought or have a thought that Prabhupada did not properly set it up. Prabhupada did set it up.
Yeah, of course he set it
did
up.
put the name, but somehow the
Right.
existing GBCs during that time, they subdued the names
Yeah.
because of
Even, maybe like there were these 11 devotees who were there, names were given. So to some extent, how many names Prabhupada said that maybe we don't know exactly. But he was indicating others also. They may, who were Ritvik at Prabhupada's time, on Prabhupada's behalf, they were initiating for some time. And that it was natural, and Prabhupada said, all my disciples should become guru. Means those who are qualified. So that means he didn't just point out two, but maybe others also.
Yes.
But then, it was maybe not so 100% clear, and that he said, okay, this 11 or this person should initiate, and because it was the last days, and and then the things were also manipulated.
So many
Maybe,
tapes are missing.
yeah,
So
some
many
tapes are missing,
were put on at
definitely,
that time.
yeah. And then, yeah, so therefore, yeah, so some reservations are there. So from the retreats and even others also, they may have some reservations or whatever, and maybe not full trust. But at the same time, Prabhupada wanted this institution, and somehow it has continued, and we have to respect. And at the same time, also we should understand that so the things may not be completely perfect, but the flow of bhakti is continuing, and if you are intelligent, we can see how it is flowing and how it will continue.
If you're intelligent.
Yeah.
Brother, actually, I've observed this that during this whole scene right now, especially from ISKCON Delhi side, we have in a way demonized Ritvik so much that now they have also started to bring out particular cases of ISKCON and showing and exposing all the Swamis.
You see, the thing is, yeah, that is natural actually. What you sow, that you will reap. If you're always criticizing others, then others will criticize you also. If you're pointing out the faults in the other, this, and this, then the faults will be also shown. So these things are there. So therefore, we should respect others. At the same time, we have to also try to see that we follow Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. But then we should respect others. But we follow our Guru Maharaj, our society, our Sampradaya. But not that we should too much also try to see the faults in others. But then we may point out also, but in a respectful way, and not that we have to make it public. Because otherwise then, it will come back on us. Like many times in ISKCON we see them, they are publicly saying something, not about Ritvik, but this Baba, that Baba, this Sampradaya, that Sampradaya. And we are the only one, the chosen one. Only Prabhupada is the only one, right? Many are saying. It's like, then others are saying, just like the Christians, Jesus said it's the only way. Some of the people are saying it this way also. Not only in regards to Madhu Pandit, but of ISKCON also. Because they're also saying only Prabhupada is the only Guru who is there, even nowadays you can see. Only Guru who will be. But still we have some disciples, but it's only Prabhupada. Which is okay in one point, that Prabhupada was empowered Acharya, just in the Madhvacharya Sampradaya. They will say Madhvacharya is the deliverer. But they have the Guru Parampara also. But they say by the mercy of Madhvacharya, the present Gurus, they are empowered. So we can see by Prabhupada's mercy, the present Gurus are empowered to initiate and to deliver. So that we have to see. But then, that to only say that to then put Prabhupada, of course, we put him in the front in our society as the main person, Acharya, but still, they're not at the expense of criticizing anybody else. And Prabhupada there was never an Acharya like Prabhupada. And there will never be. So he's greater than Rupa Goswami? Prabhupada? No. Right? Or what do you say?
I was wondering
what?
When this thing comes out.
Well, it's no issue.
Of course, it's going on. We have to discuss.
We're discussing about a few devotees, any problem.
They say that they start.
No, but you see, the point is Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and Prabhupada is the main person in ISKCON in our life, but not the extent of all the other acharyas, especially now Sampradaya. So I'm just saying the point which other people are also making. So we have the greatest respect for Prabhupada, and by his mercy we're here, and we keep Prabhupada in the center, but we cannot say that Prabhupada is more important than Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. He's not more important than Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He's not more important than Vishwanath or Baladev. And therefore we can see that, who can compare with Rupa Goswami? Prabhupada, he wrote all these commentaries, and which is wonderful for the benefit of the conditioned souls, and he was empowered to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. And he's a genius also. But if you compare to Rupa Goswami, what he has written, so we cannot say that Prabhupada is greater than Rupa Goswami. That would be also not proper, actually. To say that there was never somebody like Prabhupada. In that sense that he spread all over the world, but at the same time, Rupa Goswami was also Jagadguru. In the sense that he wrote these transcendental literatures which now have been given all over the world through Prabhupada. So that we have to see. So we have to see the things in a proper perspective. And we have to be respectful towards all as much as possible. But then sometimes there's some misunderstanding, and so that is there.
One will approach with this mode.
Right.
To Srila Prabhupada, of course 100% he will not like this mode.
Right.
It is an offense to Prabhupada. Right?
Which mode?
With this mode, like, comparing Prabhupada with Rupa Goswami or other things, like, like Prabhupada is superior than...
Right, that's not proper,
and
no.
if they go with this mode to Prabhupada... So
right, Prabhupada will not like it. No, no. Even Prabhupada used to say, I'm the humble servant of my spiritual master.
Yes.
And whatever I've been able to do is by the mercy of
Yes.
my spiritual master. So, but this is the point that, some people are making, just like Ritwik, they're putting Prabhupada in the center, so ISKCON sometimes also Prabhupada is there more than Shastra and more than anybody else. That is the point. So, but then, and then they're saying also, just like you cannot convince Ritwiks, you cannot convince those who are saying that in regards to Prabhupada in ISKCON. That is the point. Of some devotees who are, scholarly also.
So that they have termed a word called Prabhupada now.
Yeah, Prabhupada
with
right,
Prabhupada.
right. Yeah.
That is also
Very old term.
old term.
Prabhupada Nuga?
Yeah.
Yeah, since a few years, yeah.
Is it okay? We can use
Well, we can say also we are Prabhupada Nuga, but we should not forget that actually a Rupa Nuga.
coming from Rupa.
Yeah, following Rupa Goswami. But we follow Prabhupada, and then we follow the previous acharyas, and we follow Rupa Goswami. That is there. But even I have heard one time, even here in our temple, sitting on the Vyasasan, one Prabhupada disciple, we show respect. And he was saying, I know Prabhupada, I don't want to know Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I don't want to know the previous acharyas.
I also heard that.
I thought, what?
This was so
Huh?
unfortunate.
What?
And it was live.
So, so all respect, but, we want to know Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because without Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or the previous, without Rupa Goswami, you can never approach Mahaprabhu. We cannot approach Radha Krishna.
And then how we can approach
Yeah.
Krishna? No way.
So, but then we have to be respectful and see the sentiment. He has so much love for Prabhupada. But still, at the same time, it should not be at the expense of disrespecting the previous acharyas. So it is a very fine line, and sometimes the saying, maybe they are innocently, so but then others may not feel it in that way. So then maybe I'm speaking in this way, other Prabhupada disciples, if you would hear me, then they would say, well, he's not really Prabhupada man, right? Right? That is his point. But what to do? We are Prabhupada man, but at the same time, we feel how they can say like this. And in this way we feel not respecting the previous acharyas, and especially Rupa Goswami, or even Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, even speaking against Gaudiya Math, right? Which we don't agree, because it is Bhaktisiddhanta's institution. But because some of the followers, they were not completely in line, or they deviated, so now they don't have respect for Gaudiya Math, which is unfortunate. So but these things are there, and then we have to tolerate each other. What to do? Anyhow. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Stabde means in the devotional scriptures, Pare Brahmani means hearing and chanting about the Lord. Nishnanta means thoroughly conversant. So that is the situation. And we should read one more verse. Sri Krishna Dikshadik Shikshanam Yata Tatraiva Tatra Bhagavatam Dharmam Shikshed Gurvatma Daivataha Amayanuvritya Yastushyad Atma Atmatma Do Harihi This is from the 11th canto. Acquiring knowledge after initiation, also from the 11th canto. Accepting the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity, the disciple should learn from him the process of pure bhakti by sincere service. By that pure bhakti, the Lord, the Supreme Soul, will be satisfied and give himself to that devotee. So also important verse, that one has to accept the spiritual master as everything, as one's life and soul. And here, as worshipable deity, first we worship Guru, and then we can worship Gauranga or Krishna. And then he should hear from the spiritual master about pure bhakti, that is important also, about pure devotional service, Shuddha bhakti. And then by performing Shuddha bhakti, then he may be able to satisfy Guru, Gauranga, Krishna. Then Krishna will give himself to that devotee. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, the Guru is called Atma because he is as dear as the self is. One should learn Bhagavad Dharma from the Guru, who is worthy of worship like a deity and is as dear as one's own self. So Prananath, so is the Lord of our life, the spiritual master, and then Krishna is the Lord of our life. By sincere service, the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, the Lord, who is the real Atma and who gives himself to the worshippers, is pleased by those acts of bhakti. So Atma refers to the soul, to ourselves, but according to Shabdakosh, the dictionary, Sanskrit, so Atma can refer to the body also, to the gross body or the subtle body. And so it can refer to the spiritual master also, because he's most dear to us, and it can refer to the Supreme Lord himself also. So much can be said, but it is already 8:15, and so maybe tomorrow we should do Jaiva Dharma in English and in Hindi also. Hare Krishna. Today is also the appearance day of Ganga Mata Goswamini, although usually we don't see many sannyasinis or female Diksha Gurus. It's another topic. Female Diksha Guru. Which some extent approved in ISKCON, another issue, but many they don't agree at all, especially in India. And and most of the Vaishnava Sampradayas, they don't have any female Diksha Gurus. But here we can see Ganga Mata Goswamini, Ganga Mata Goswamini. So she became Guru. But the point is that she was empowered and she was always very humble and not wanting to be Guru. Not, hey, I want to be Guru, I should be Guru. But always very humble. And she was actually from a royal family, a princess. And the parents, she was the only daughter and they didn't have a son. So they thought, anyway, at least we have to get a good prince, we'll get her married and then he can take over the kingdom. But she didn't want to get married. So, and she said, my Prabhu is Krishna. So I will only get married to Krishna. And the parents, hoi, hoi, hoi. What to do? And the king, But they could do nothing because she was very strong. And then they gave up the hope. And then she wanted to go to Vrindavan. And then, what, you want to go to Vrindavan? Yeah, I want to find Krishna, my Lord. And then, so they were obliged. But then they sent one servant with her, or a few servants to accompany her because young lady, her name was Sachi Devi. So she came to Vrindavan and she found one great sadhu. She surrendered her to him. And she had questions and he answered her questions. And So, but the tradition is there also, and the young lady, and then always asking questions from the Guru. So he gave blessings also, but then he told her, you go to Radhakund. And there's one Vaishnavi there, also my disciple, and you take shelter of her and you serve her. And she will help you also. And she did like this, and then she did nice bhajan, and then he was getting older, like everyone is getting older, right? And then he called her also one day and said, and actually this older lady also, whom she was serving, also was about to leave the body, and he told her that I want you to go to Puri and you do your bhajan there. And she went to Puri to do her bhajan there. She was a little hesitant, she didn't want to leave Braj, but whatever Guru says she has to do. So she went to Puri and was doing her bhajan there. So, and she was initiated. What was her name? I think Krishna Priya. I called her. And so then she was doing her bhajan there. And then there was one Brahmana, Jaipur. Jaipur is coming up again. And he was worshipping his deity. And in a dream, Thakurji is telling him, you must bring me to Jagannath Puri. And there's one lady there, and you give, her name is Krishna Priya, you give, I want you to bring me to her and she will serve me. He woke up from the dream. Oh, this is a nightmare, right? He's serving the deity, beautiful deity. And then he's having this dream, and deity is telling him, you bring me to Jaipur, to Jagannath Puri. And there's one lady there who will worship me, and Sadhvi. So, not a sadhu, a sadhvi, female, not Prabhu. You don't call a lady Prabhu or sadhu, according to scriptures. Of course, Prabhupada one time did, and then the ladies are saying Prabhu, Prabhu.
Yes.
But we should understand why Prabhupada said Prabhu. Most probably because of the mood of equal vision, right? Or equal right, men and women. So jokingly he must have said Prabhu to the lady also one time, and then they took it. We have to call each other Prabhu. Prabhupada said. And therefore even now they call each other Prabhu. Anyhow, it's an issue, right? Another issue, but what to do? We say Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And according, but in India, if you call a lady Prabhu, and we say, what is this going on? It's not a Prabhu, no, it's a lady. You don't call Sadhu or Prabhu to a lady. It's just common thing, right? So we have to use common sense and Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And then you have to understand why Guru is doing sometimes something and not blindly accept. Of course, I knew what to do. We cannot say too much, otherwise again the proper disciples will say something. And the Mataji was saying, Prabhu, Prabhu, you cannot tell them anything. They're right, because Prabhupada said. And okay, from one point of view, Prabhupada said it is okay, but one time, and why did he say, well, how did he say? That we have to understand also. And so many things are there. Anyhow, so. And then he was thinking, that's just a bad dream. Maybe I did some offense, therefore Thakurji is coming to me in this way. He continued this seva and was thinking it's just a bad dream. But again in the dream, another day the deity again telling me, you must bring me there to Puri, otherwise you will die. Hoi, hoi, hoi. Next day telling his family, I have to go to Puri. Thakurji is telling me I have to bring him to Puri, and otherwise I will die. And so he went there, and he's calling for Krishna Priya. There's one lady, Krishna Priya, and then they found her. And then he handed over the seva. And first she was saying, no, no, no. I'm just doing my bhajan, Nam bhajan, chanting the holy names. Nam bhajan only. But my Thakurji is telling me that you have to serve. Well, it's just your dream. Otherwise I will die. It's just your dream, she's saying. But then in the dream, Thakurji is telling her also, I want you to serve me. And then next day, okay, Thakurji is telling me that I have to serve him. So I will accept. And then she was serving. So the deity is there. You know where?
Yes,
Where?
Bhattacharya's
Place, yes. Yeah. Beautiful deity.
Yes.
Name? Bankim Roy or something Roy. Bankim Roy or
Yes, some name.
something like
Someone
that.
gives a name. Well, like beautiful name.
Yeah, I think Bankim Roy
Different.
maybe.
Yes.
Anyhow, but beautiful name and beautiful deity. We remember the deity. Yeah. So then she was doing her seva. And one day she was thinking, Ganga Puja today, Dashera, and everyone is going to Ganga Sagar. Who has been Ganga Sagar? Nobody? Okay, I've been. Beautiful place. Where the Ganges is going into the ocean, Ganga Sagar. She want to, in Bengal.
बंगाल की खाड़ी बोलती है तो वहाँ पे मिल जाती है.
Mhm. So also went there one time. And so she was thinking to go there. But her deity and Jagannath didn't want her to go. And she was actually speaking Harikatha, and some few people were coming to hear her because she was realized, great soul. But then she thought, and then also then she had a revelation that she may just take bath in the Kund, which is next, nearby that, which is also considered to be the Ganges. What is called? Shweta Ganga. And actually there's a tunnel, different tunnels are there even from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's place, by which you can go to the temple. It's there. They will show you.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah. And then she took bath there, and she was, Ganga Devi brought her inside the temple. So must be a canal there also, underground, in front of Jagannath at night time. And then, so she was there in front of Jagannath, and what's happening? And then Pujari is coming early morning and seeing her there, and thinking there must be a thief. Took her and put her in the jail. And she was just chanting the holy names and what's going on. She couldn't understand either that she was there, transferred there. But then, so she was put in prison, but then Jagannath came in the dream of the Pujari, the head Pujari and the king, and told her there's one lady there that, so it was actually on this day, most probably, yeah, they mentioned, that, so in the evening time, came in the dream and Jagannath told to the head Pujari and to the king that you put this lady in the prison, but she's a great devotee. Now as an atonement, you have to take initiation from her. And they released her and they took initiation from her.
King and head Pujari both.
Yeah. Of course, he must have cool guru also, the head Pujari. But then, to take shelter on what kind of initiation, that is another question. Because maybe, because there's one thing is Diksha and the other one is Shiksha. Is also kind of initiation of taking shelter. So that's another, issue. Many issues are there. Diksha and Shiksha and whatever. So, but they took shelter of her, that is for sure. And then many others took shelter of her also, and maybe initiation also. But she was just always very humble and not advertising herself, just doing her bhajan and giving some, harikatha to some devotees. But then she became famous, and she became known as Ganga Mata Goswamini, because she was blessed by Ganga Devi. So Ganga Mata. Although usually we say, of course, again, some say Ganga Mata Ganga, Ganga Mai,
Ganga
but usually we say Ganga Devi because she's actually Devi also, Ganga Devi. She's there as a gopi also, that is mentioned in the Brahma Vaivata Purana. Ganga Devi, her original form is there in Krishna Loka as a gopi of Krishna. And she's there as Ganga Devi in Svetadip Navadvip. And just like Yamuna Devi, she's an expanded form of Vishaka. So Ganga River is an expanded form of Gopi, of a Gopi also. Ganga Mata Goswamini ki,
Jai.
Ganga Puja ki,
Jai.
Yamuna Devi ki,
Jai.
Satchinandana Gaura Hari ki,
Jai.
Sisi Radha Shama Sundar ki,
Jai.
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki,
Jai.
Rup Goswami Pada ki,
Jai.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki,
Jai.
Bhakti Siddhanta Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Srila Ise Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Srila Gurudev ki,
Jai.
Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda ki, Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Jai Jai Sisi Radhe Shyam.
How long before, how many years before ago this passed?